Grace here, welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone had a good Christmas and a good New Year. Yes, I still have my tree up. It's not bad luck because it's the 12th day of Christmas when I'm filming this. I'm gonna take it down, I promise. I just think it looks really pretty in my room, so... Oopsie. Anyways, I hope everyone had a good holiday. I know I certainly had a nice break from sitting in the dining room working to sitting in the dining room eating. Still working from home, have been for 10 months. My apprenticeship is supposed to end in March, but I think it's been pushed to June now, so still going to be working from home as far as that's going. Back in lockdown, yay, not much has changed. Still can't go to the pub and things, but that is not what I'm here to talk to you about, because I have noticed that most people's YouTube channels, unless they talk about their life absolutely every single day of their lives, they have a focus. They have an entire thing to base their channel around, like gaming or cooking or pranks and things. And I don't have a niche. Mine is kind of a hodgepodge of different things that I'm interested in at certain points. So I've decided to change that, and you'll have noticed that my channel has had a little bit of a makeover as well, courtesy of my brother. I tried to do it myself, but I couldn't. I can make an Excel spreadsheet, but I can't do things in Paint. What can you do? So this channel is going to be called something else. I'm going to change it when I put the video out so that it's quite exciting for me. It's quite exciting for me because I just love what I'm going to be talking about, and I've talked about it a couple of times before, not enough to warrant an entire channel originally, so I couldn't just lapse into it. So instead, I'm just going to throw you in head first, because one thing that I found myself doing throughout the majority of lockdown and just the entirety of 2020 was reading. That's right, reading. Reading classics, reading modern literature, reading anything I could get my hands on, basically. I even had this whole thing where, because of the situation we were in, I couldn't actually go to the library and pick out the books for myself, because that would be like interacting with people. So they had to pick out the books for me. I gave them a list of the kind of categories I like to read, so like I liked young adult novels, I like something with a little bit of mystery in it. Sometimes I like stories that are about older times and things. And they picked out the selection for me, and it was a very nice selection. And I learned a lot about different authors. Mainly, I learned about that one book that I talked about in my last video that I don't think I ever want to talk about again. It was a dumpster fire. It was well and truly a dumpster fire. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out my channel and see the video about a book called The Young World. Anyway, we are not talking about that book today because I never want to talk about that again, even though I've just talked about it. Instead, we're going to be talking about a series of books I started reading just the year before, but I read the two other ones in the series last year. Oh gosh, I hate saying last year because it was only a week ago. Ugh. But yeah, last year I read a series by an author called Ashley Poston, and the series is called Once Upon a Con, and it is the geekiest, fairy tale-iest thing I have ever come across. There are 3 books in the series: Geekerella, Fangirl and the Princess. Or is it the other way around? The Princess and the Fangirl. I can't remember which way around it is. And Bookish and the Beast, based on classic fairy tales: Cinderella, Princess and the Pauper, or The Prince and the Pauper, whichever you remember more. I prefer Princess and the Pauper, that was a good film. And Beauty and the Beast, obviously. And they are just the coolest things. All of them are based around a convention, as the title of the series would suggest. A very geeky convention, so Star Wars, Harry Potter, Star Trek, and an entirely fictitious series called Starfield. It does, when you're reading it, it does feel like it is very much based on the Star Trek series, mostly because of the way the characters are and the whole thing. But it's kind of a hodgepodge of Star Wars and Star Trek and other space-themed things. Lots of geeky language and quotes and different names for guns and weapons and stuff like that, and characters. It's very fun. So I'm going to talk about the books. I'd probably be more worried about Bookish and the Beast because that one is still extremely recent, like way too recent, but spoilers, I guess. I don't think I've ever spoiled anything major on this channel. It's not like I gave away the ending to Endgame, which my brother did to me before I'd even seen it. Not gonna lie, that did upset me. But anyway, Geekerella. It is about a girl called Ella, obviously. Well, Elle, actually. Her name's Elle. And the story follows these two characters, Elle and Darian. Sorry, every time I think about Darian, I just think of all those scenes where he's, you know. You probably have to read it for yourself to know what I'm talking about, but it's the basic... It's a spin on the Cinderella story that I don't think I've seen too many people do. And because it's set in the modern day, they get away with it in a really good way. A really good way. So Elle's dad was the creator of this convention. I still can't remember the name of the convention. I said I was going to look it up when I tried to film this yesterday, but then dinner came around and I completely forgot about it. Yes, that's right. I have tried to film this 3 times previous. So he was the inventor of this really geeky convention. Excelsicon, that was it. It was Excelsicon because of the phrase Excelsior from, I don't know which series it quotes, but yeah, it's Excelsicon. That's it. Oh my goodness, that was going to annoy me for so long. But yeah, he invented this thing called Excelsicon where people could just go and geek the geek out of everything. And she hadn't been to it for years because her dad passed away. I can't remember how they said he died, but he passed away, and she has to live with this horrible Karen of a stepmother. I know it's not nice to say that name, but she is a bit of a Karen, and her 2 ultra rich Instagram, YouTube wannabes, her sisters, and yeah, they're pretty, it's a little stereotypical, but there are other things that aren't as stereotyped that make up for it. So they are kind of blonde, tanned, go to the country club, learn to play tennis, don't have much beyond their heads, but it gets a bit more nuanced later. It takes time, but yeah. And the story, the way that Elle and Darian meet is Darian is going to be playing the main guy, so basically the Captain Kirk of Starfield in a reboot. Yeah, I know, reboots. And the internet isn't too happy about it. Yes, he's the right ethnicity for it because he's supposed to be like South American. I can't remember what they exactly said he was. But yeah, he was right kind of person to play him, but he was more of a Love Island actor, so more of the, it's like taking someone from Hollyoaks and putting them into a sci-fi film. Basically, it's the equivalent of that, but in America. Yeah, he's some soap star that gets put into a sci-fi film because he's actually a really big fan of it. He actually was a very faithful fan, and it was quite nice to see the reverse on the whole. I don't really care about the franchise, and then all of a sudden, oh, I do care about the franchise, anything. Elle is a big fan of Starfield to the point where it completely consumes her life because it consumed her parents' life because they were cosplayers back in the day, which I thought was quite cute. And they don't exactly meet face to face the first time they talk. He tries to find the people who are running the con because he doesn't want to do a meet and greet because he had a bad experience at a con before he was famous, and he doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to do a convention where he talks to all these people and answers questions. He just doesn't want to do it. So he tracks down a number on the website for what he thinks is the person who runs the show, who was her dad. And because her stepmother refused to buy her a proper good phone, she has like a brick phone. They always describe it as a brick phone, but I feel like it's probably just an old Nokia, not like a brick Nokia, but yeah. And they start texting, so it couldn't have been that bricky. They start texting back and forth, and he slowly starts to fall in love with this person that he's never met in person, but knows is a fan of Starfield. And it's quite cute. It's quite cute. I'm not going to, I mean, you can probably guess how it ends, but there are a few twists and turns in between that make it a little bit more interesting. And it's not just the whole good conquers evil sort of thing either as well. It's a little bit more interesting, and there are a couple of twists and turns. So yeah, that book, I read it on this old brick. it's not a brick. It's a very, very old Kindle. I'm trying not to get the ring light to shine on it, but it's a very, very old Kindle. I've had this for too long. Genuinely, like I have a better Kindle now. I have the latest one, the Generation 10 HD8. Ignore the advert. Just, yeah. For some reason, it decides to advertise to me when it opens up. But yeah, I've got a new Kindle, so I can do a little bit more, and I can watch Disney Plus in my bed, which is quite cool. But yeah, this is what has gotten me through holidays, through Christmas, and just through the fact that I have no more room left on my bookshelf. But yeah, I read all of the Once Upon a Con books on this thing here. Oh gosh, the case is so battered. And yeah, that one, it wasn't my favourite, but I did enjoy it. It was a very fun story, and there was also a little bit of the whole mystery thing, mostly because they did everything over text, which was quite weird because she could have been texting a weirdo, but whatever. And then there's The Princess and the Fangirl. I think it's that way around, yeah. And that one, it's very cute. It is really cute. But the romance that comes from it isn't the romance you think it's going to be. So it has a little bit, yeah, it's not the romance you think it's going to be. It's quite nice. It's a case of mistaken identity, obviously, where the actress that plays the princess in the movie Princess Amara, someone else is mistaken for her, someone completely different. A girl that calls herself Monster. I can't remember her real name, which is quite ridiculous. I should have made notes, but I was just so excited to do this video. And yeah, they decide, because she loses a script. The person playing Princess Amara, I think her name's Jessica Steele or something like that. It's something like that. Jessica Stone. That's it, Jessica Stone. That's the name of the actress. She's not a real actress, but yeah, Jessica Stone. She accidentally loses the script for the next show, the next movie, which she flat out wants to refuse to be in and things, because she knows she's been like, she just doesn't want to do it because she's not as into the franchise as Darian is, but whatever. And she has to go on a hunt for this script because she threw it in a bin and someone starts leaking it on Twitter. Yeah, I know, it's pretty crazy. So they switch places. One of them puts on a wig to look like the other person. The other one just wears a hat to look like her because they get mistaken for each other at one very small point. And they basically go around doing what each other does. So Mo sells merchandise from a little store, and she's meeting her internet friend for the first time ever. And it's very cute. It's so cute. And Mo has to go around pretending to be Jessica with Jessica's agent, PR manager. I can't think of the word. It's something movie related or whatever. And it is very cute. It's a little bit of mystery mixed in with the whole having to pretend to be someone that you've never actually properly interacted with. The trying not to seem like... It's very nice. I like it. It's very good. And the final book, which was very entertaining because Beauty and the Beast is one of my favourite Disney films, small fact, even though Frozen's my favourite 3D animation, but Beauty and the Beast is definitely my favourite 2D animation. Bookish and the Beast, it is so cute, and like the bookshelves, oh my goodness, I had fantasies about those bookshelves. Like every time I watched Beauty and the Beast, I'd see that book, that library, and I'd just be like... So once again, it's another turn on the story. The main characters this time, the guy that's supposed to be the beast. Is the guy that plays the bad guy in the movies, or supposed to play a bad guy, I think. King Knox or something like that. No, it's the other guy. Someone else completely. And he's a bit of an arse, and he's British. I still don't like that cliche, but it was funny. It was quite funny. Kind of like Dan Stevens and things. I did, yeah. And it's someone who just works in a normal shop and things, and she accidentally finds herself in Lance's garden of this big house that he's living in while he's trying to lay low after meeting someone in a mask at a convention who, yeah, I think you can guess where this is kind of going. They're just such fun books. They're so nerdy, they're so cute, they're so cliche, but also woke. It's amazing. I just love the series so much. And I only got into the series because of my wonderful friend who also has a channel and talks about books and also posts way better behind the scenes footage of shows she's been in. My good friend Hazel. I will leave a link to her channel in the description of this video because she is awesome sauce. And she introduced me to this series ages ago. I was like, Hazel, I am running out of books to read. Please recommend me some series or just some books and things, because she knows me so well. We've done a lot together. We've been friends since we were tiny. Yeah. So thank you, Hazel, for giving me my first official Grace Reads book on this. And I'm thinking that because I've read so many books while being in lockdown, that I might make this a series. I had a name for it, and then my dad heard the name of it and he went, I could come up with a better name. He hasn't gotten back to me on that. But for now, it's called Lockdown Literature, because it's books I read while I was in lockdown, sort of. I still have the entire list of all the books that I read because I didn't get to keep the books, so I wanted to keep a mental note of the ones that I read, and I even wrote them down in my diary and things because it was quite nice, because I came across some pretty good authors and things. So yeah, Ashley Poston, Once Upon a Con, definitely recommend if you are geeky or if you enjoy modern style fairy tales, or if you just really like cheesy romance, because it is a little bit cheesy, but it's super cute as well, and very nice young adult reading. Okay, so that concludes the first video where I'm actually deciding to do this book thing. I'm completely terrified, but maybe you'll join me on this journey, maybe you won't. But all I know is I'm going to be a lot happier knowing that I don't have to think of a whole new theme for a video. Because I have a theme now, because I am doing books, and that is so good. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I am so sorry if this is a bit long-winded, but what can you do? The other ones aren't going to be this long-winded, I promise you. In fact, what's the time? Oh, come on, that's not bad. Okay, I've just checked how long this video has been going for. It's not as bad as my Wednesday Addams video. So yeah, definitely check out that series. I can't remember how much it was on Kindle, but it's a lot cheaper on Kindle, as far as I know. It might have changed. But yeah, the Ashley Poston series, I fully recommend it if you are geeky, if you love conventions, and if you like spins on fairy tales, because it's really cute. All of it. Okay, I'm going to sign off now because my leg has fallen asleep and now it really hurts because I've been crossing my legs to be able to be in the shot right now, and I need to go upload this. So I will catch you, I'll catch you next week, and that's a promise. I will catch you next week for the rest of Lockdown Literature. Bye guys!